At approximately 7 p.m. on July 15, 1887, a Grand Trunk Railway passenger train running northbound on the London and Port Stanley line collided with a westbound Michigan Central Railroad train carrying a mixture of freight, including oil. The resulting explosions and fire remain the worst loss of life and property in St. Thomas's history. July 15th was a Friday, the beginning of the weekend, and a special train had been chartered by the Talbot Street Baptist Church of London to take 400 of their congregation to a picnic at the Fraser House in Port Stanley. On their return journey to London, as the picnickers' train made their way through St. Thomas, they approached the intersection with the Michigan Central line. As the Grand Trunk train neared the intersection, engineer Harry Donnelly misread the signals. When the crossing came into view, Donnelly was alarmed to see the track blocked by an MCR train. He immediately shifted the locomotive into reverse, applied the brakes, and sounded the whistle to warn the passengers and anyone nearby to the danger. Many of the passengers were able to escape the train before the collision. The Grand Trunk locomotive hit the freight train at just over 30 kilometers an hour, impacting the other train in a section hauling oil cars. The passenger train launched over the MCR train. The locomotive rolled over and landed on engineer Donnelly, killing him instantly. The floor of the passenger cars gave way as they flew over the now burning oil cars, dumping many victims into the inferno. 2 oil tankers ruptured, and an intense fire immediately spread to both trains and the surrounding buildings. Contemporary reports claim the sound could be heard for several miles, and the pillar of flame could be seen 25 miles away. News of the disaster quickly spread. The local fire department responded immediately, but were met with a scene of destruction far beyond their meager equipment. The firefighters concentrated on stopping the fire's spread, and it is to their credit that the fire was contained to the 2 square blocks that were destroyed. By 8 p.m., the gathered crowd had grown to nearly 1,000 people. Some came to fight the fire, some to assist in the rescue, but many came simply to watch the unfolding disaster consuming the heart of their town. At that point, a 3rd oil car exploded. Eyewitnesses report seeing the whole tank car thrown hundreds of feet in the air, landing some distance from the accident site and spreading the fire further. A black mushroom cloud appeared over Moore and Center Streets. The cloud contained a mass of superheated oil, which then rained down on the assembled crowd. A local bricklayer and part-time firefighter, Herman Ponsford, was engulfed in a shower of burning oil. He died a few hours later. A plaque to the heroism of the fire brigade and the memory of Ponsford still hangs in the St. Thomas Fire Hall. A half hour after the second explosion, 9 bodies were pulled from the train wreck. They were burnt beyond recognition. The fire was finally brought under control by 9:35 p.m. The fuel had exhausted itself. The citizens of St. Thomas saw the devastation in the last light of that summer night. The morning would show the full extent of the destruction. The immediate death toll of the catastrophe was pegged at 14, and several hundred injured. The death toll would climb slowly over the coming days, months, and years. If you visit the Railway Corridor Park on the west side of Moore Street in St. Thomas, Ontario, take a moment to reflect on the events that took place there. Those that lost their lives, those that risked death to help others, and the resilience of the city that saw such destruction and did what needed to be done in a time of crisis. To learn more about our local history or to see a schedule of our events, please visit elginhistoricalsociety.ca.